It's an honor to be here, and I have goosebumps and my heart hurts.
Yeah, it's a very touching story, and it inspired so much. Yeah, it's so inspiring. Yeah. Okay, so Vivian, can you share with us how you pick up fencing and become a professional fencer?
Yeah. So my mom really wanted me to become a ballerina, but I hated it and loved to fight. Then fencing became the perfect compromise because it's a very elegant style of fighting, and I'm still constantly trying to convince her how fencing is just as beautiful. So I decided I wanted to become a professional fencer after I tore my ACL, so I had a knee surgery. And then because I realized that at that moment, my biggest fear wasn't the pain or surgery, but the possibility that I wouldn't be able to fence again or do sports properly, and regretted all the times I didn't train hard enough. So then I decided I wanted to give fencing my all.
I see. So Vivian, what does mental health and well-being meant to you?
Okay, so I think mental health and well-being means experiencing, acknowledging, and accepting and appreciating our entire range of emotions, the good and the bad, and being able to enjoy them or step away from it and find our own equilibrium and inner peace.
And so how important do you believe mental health is in sport today?
Right. So the WHO says that there is no health without mental health, and I think that's so important because we always talk about how sports is good for our health, like physically and mentally, but actually when I was growing up, I used to turn to my sport more for the mental health, for the mental well-being, rather than my physical well-being, whether that's to see friends or to get away from class or do work, and it was just enjoyable mentally, and it helped me prepare my mindset going back to school and classes. It's also really easy to neglect the mental aspect of sports because it's so hard to objectively measure mental health in terms of how you know when I actually need a break or when I'm just being lazy, and this happens all the time. And I think sports is also a great way to know ourselves better. And I remember when I was younger, my teammate used to tell me how he saw fencing as a form of self-expression. And I didn't understand what he meant at the time, but I think I do now. And I think he means that sports is a vehicle for us to understand ourselves better and a platform to express our passions and emotions, which is really good for our mental health.
Yes. And have you ever encountered any mental health issues, and how did you cope with it?
So up until 2020, I think the highlight of my mental health journey would be the 2 ACL reconstructed knees. So I had both of my knees reconstructed, and the injuries challenged my identity as an athlete and the self-doubt that comes with rehab and whether or not I can get back to my sport. But I quickly channeled all of that anxiety into working as hard as I could. And most importantly, I have a really amazing team of family, friends, coaches, doctor, trainer, and physiotherapists who constantly inspire me to do better. But then now I think the biggest mental health challenge I've ever faced up till now is this pandemic and all the change and uncertainty that comes with it. It's the first time I've felt such a profound loss of control and anxiety. Like at first, I wouldn't let myself be sad or disappointed about the Olympics being postponed because me being sad was incredibly insignificant compared to the pandemic and the loss of human lives. And then I started feeling helpless because I realized winning medals couldn't actually save lives. And then I started to doubt my contribution to society just being an athlete. So now I've learned to focus on what I can control, from finding the motivation to train as hard as I can every single day, or using my platform to advocate for the power of sports and spread health and well-being advice that at least works for me, like home workouts, cooking recipes, or share how I'm coping with this new normal. And this adds a larger sense of purpose to what I'm doing that goes beyond day-to-day training.
I see. So last but not the least, do you have any message that you would like to send to young people in Lauria's supported mental health and well-being programs?
Fencing has taught me, and sports in general has taught me a lot about myself. I've grown mentally and physically stronger. It has taught me to accept, adapt, and learn constantly, and to embrace and be grateful for failure and injuries, and to always be hopeful and believe that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, even when I really want to be somewhere else. And I have a quote that I keep reminding myself, which is, "This too shall pass." This quote gives us hope when things are not looking good, because it will pass. And when things are looking good, it also reminds us to be grateful and to enjoy the moment while it lasts.
I see. So thank you so much, Vivian, for sharing. Thank you so much.